And welcome to the second week of the Rite of the Nine in-game event. How's everybody doing? This is the weekly update where we go over everything going on for the week of May 13th inside of Destiny 2. So if you're new, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you can stay up to date on every week going forward, including the Year of Prophecy that begins very soon. With that said, I'll be live this evening over on Twitch, link will be description below, if you want to come and hang out while me and my crew tackles any of the dungeons in rotation this week, or just hang out and chat or ask questions. Anything is more than welcome. Alright, but let's go ahead and dive into the update, shall we? Real fast, there is a new quest for the Luminal Vigil holofoil sidearm from the Spire of the Watcher dungeon. It is also Spire of the Watcher once again within Rite of the Nine, so if you have already completed it, or if you still want to do some stuff around it, good way to get that done. There's also a new quest from the Emissary where you can get your selection choice of a dungeon exotic if you want. Alright, now for our rotator, shall we? Alright. Over in Vanguard, our weekly Grandmaster this week is the Sunless Cell. It is also with the Wild Style Solar Grenade Launcher. I'll have a link in the description below where you can go check out the various roles you can get on it. So if you want to check out the new dungeon on Grandmaster, good week to farm it out if you're still looking for a good roll on Wild Style. Alright. Nothing in Gambit as per usual. Over in Crucible, however, it is still currently heavy metal. Don't forget that will end on Friday at reset, but it's also Clash and Momentum Control. And then for our raise this week, over on Europa is the Deepstone Crypt. So if you're trying to get, Eyes Tomorrow or any of the weapons crafted from there, good time to farm it out. And then on Neptune is Root of Nightmares with Conditional Finality and any of the crafted weapons that you still need from that raid. Alright, for our weekly exotic mission, it is Presage. So if you're trying to get, a crafted version of Dead Man's Tale, good time to farm it out and get any of the catalysts you still need for it. Alright, over in the Pale Heart, the weekly co-op mission is Descent. Don't forget you'll need at least one other person with you, as you need to shoot the front and back of a certain enemy at the same time, as well as shoot various nodes in select areas so you'll be able to progress forward also at the same time. And then the current daily Masturbate Overthrow is over in the Blooming, so try and get a good roll on your exotic class item or on Ergo Sum. Great place to farm it out. Alright, next over in the Dreaming City is going to be for the Ascendant Challenge this week is going to be Forfeit Shrine over in the Gardens of Isilia. It is also the So if you're trying, get a quick weekly bounty done for the Ascendant Challenge or for the Tolan bounty, good place to get that attack out of the way. Alright, for our Lost Sector rotation, we begin on the Cosmodrome over down in Gardens, X's Gardens 2A with Barrier and Overload champions. Also, on tomorrow at reset Wednesday, we're going to jump over to the Dreaming City with Alphean Dressed. On Thursday will be Chamber of Starlight, also in Dreaming City. Starting on Friday over to Neomuna will be Hydroponics Delta. On Saturday, the Gilded Precept. On Sunday, Thrilladome. And then lastly on Monday, jumping to the Pale Heart with the Broken Deep. I'll have these in the pinned comment below so you can keep track on what goes on each day. Alright, and then lastly over on Neptune with their Terminal Overload for the week is going to be over here in Ashma Park. And our current daily Vex Incursion Zone is over here in Zephyr Concourse. Alright, and that is it for our rotators. Like I just said in the beginning, there's a new quest, or two new quests for the Rite of the Nine event. One will give you the select of a dungeon exotic. I'm not sure if it's for all dungeon exotics or just the ones for Rite of the Nine. So, but for now, at least be aware it might just be Hierarchy Needs or the Navigator. And real fast, because I did forget, lastly, our rotating dungeons. I can't believe I got this again. Over on the moon with the Pit of Heresy with the Xenophage questline. And then over on Tavern's Throne World with Spire the Watcher for Hierarchy and Needs as Catalyst on Master Difficulty. I do apologize. Alright. Woo. Next up, for our seasonal challenge for the week. Alright. So for week 15 of Heresy, or week 2 of Rite of the Nine, however you want to view it, we have Tithe to Ruin. Defeat combatants anywhere in the system while at least one artifact perk has been enhanced. Europa activities. On Europa, earn progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors. Last Rites. Get ability final blows in Crucible, Gambit, or Vanguard. Bonus progress is granted for Guardian final blows. Ultimate Champion. Defeat champions in any Nightfall Strike on advanced difficulty or higher. Bonus progress for at higher difficulty tiers. And then lastly, calibrate long range. Calibrate long range weapons, pulse rifles, bows, and trace rifles. Bonus progress is granted for defeating guardians. Alright, and that is it for our weekly challenges and our various quests for the week. Lastly, let's dive into Eververse. For anyone new, I only cover items that were purchased with Bright Dust and nothing with silver. So, don't have to worry about spending money. Everything is earned by playing in-game. Alright, so starting off with our front page, we have the Bad Scene emote. We have the Dramatic Scream emote. The Crystallis Entrance Transmat effect. The Sanguis shader, which was one of the purchased ones for last episode. And the Argent Terratorn shader. Alright, on to the Bright Dust page. We have the Incorporeal Cat emote. We have the, for Warlocks, the ℕ𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 Wet Warlock ornament for the Stag. I know I said that wrong. And then for Hunters, we have the Deep Pockets ornament for Lucky Pants. And then for Titan, we have the Hip Wader ornament for the Dune Marchers exotic. Alright. We then have the Rover Ghost Shell. The Conflux Raider Sparrow. The Skekmet Rig Sparrow. The Death plus Infinity weapon ornament for the Cerberus +1. And the Vitamin-filled Ghost Projection. Alright, up next we have the ℕ𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 Bramble shader. Once again, no, I said that wrong. The Warbrick shader. The Wayfarer's Guise shader. the Tide Smoke shader. Then we have the Blind Clutch shader, transmat effect. The Up and Smoke transmat effect. And lastly, the Influence transmat effect. Alright, and that is it for week 2 of Ride the 9. Once again, don't forget that it is still Spyro the Watcher for our Ride the 9 content update, so it's still not either Ghost of the Deep or Prophecy, but there is 2 new quests to pick up. And also, I'll be live this evening over on Twitch. Once again, link in the description below. If you want to come and hang out, ask questions and whatnot, I'll be available. But I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the video. Goodbye.